And but the next one that's already in is the really big one. This is 10 countries, and Japan has recently applied to come on. And unlike other trade agreements like the Korea, Colombia, and Panama, this one is open, and so countries further on down the line can in fact join in. And China has not joined in, obviously, and India has not joined in either, because they would be extremely threatened by the provisions that are in the TPP. I'll just mention a couple just briefly. One is regarding patents on drugs, generic drugs. Normally there's about a 20-year patent life for new drugs, and I guess the Supreme Court just recently restricted some of that because some of those patents were being extended with technical things. Anyway, some of the countries, such as New Zealand and some of the other countries, they don't have a 20-year exclusive right. It's less than this. And so anyway, these countries would lose their ability to market or sell generic drugs before 20 years, even though they may have a 5-year or 7-year patent life. It would be uniform. It'd be and another thing that it does is formularies. So most everybody who has health insurance probably knows about what formularies are. And basically, if you have some of the cost of your medication covered by insurance, they only permit certain drugs to be covered, and they won't cover other drugs that they feel are too expensive, and so on. Well, anyway, what this TPP, it would wipe out formularies, and New Zealand and well, I shouldn't say that. It makes formularies uniform across the whole range, and that's being negotiated. We don't know what the length of those formularies are going to be, and so that is a real concern as well. The biggest concern about the TPP is a provision that's very similar to provisions in prior free trade agreements, and that is it establishes a 3-person tribunal, and this 3-person tribunal is normally staffed by, in the past, by attorneys that have worked in negotiating the TPP, corporation representatives, high-powered attorneys, and they can, and in fact will, make determinations that particular countries have violated terms of the free trade agreement if suit is brought, and then they can collect damages. And the damages are not limited, like in a lot of cases, to actual damages. They're damages to potential profits. And this has happened in a number of countries. The United States, for example, you remember a few years back about the mad cow disease, and we were implicated a little bit, but most of those disease was found in Canadian cattle. And so the United States basically declared that it would stop any import of any beef from Canada, or it wasn't beef, it was cattle. No cattle could move across the border. And that immediately resulted under NAFTA in a lawsuit which eventually was ruled in favor of the United States, but it cost the U.S. tens of millions of dollars in order to defend against it.